Hello, everyone. This is Brother Benson, and I'm joined with my brother here, Makobura. Makobura, habari gani?
Good evening, I'm doing good. I thank
Mm, yeah.
sioni mabaya pande yangu,
Mm.
labda za kwako.
Kwako tunasema kwamba unajua maisha ni kung'ang'ana, kuangalia kila siku unaenda kutafuta mlo. Hebu niambie weekend yako ilikuwa vipi?
Weekend yangu imekuwa vyema, kumekuwa tu na
Mm,
mambo hapa na pale
mm,
za kawaida.
mm,
All these other things that we do go through normal in a normal day
mm,
life.
mhm,
Yeah, so hayo ndo nimepambana nayo over the weekend, but above
mm.
all, we are pushing and we are doing our best.
Okay, thank you so much. And I see our good friend Goodyear is with us. We would like to say hi to him. There's so much that has really happened, Mr. Makobura, especially I was just following up. I had a conversation with one of my friends, and the politics of the Luo nation is kind of like changing rapidly. And there are those who are very happy and those who are not very happy. And by this, I mean, Raymond Omolo is making inroads, especially in the Luo nation. I saw him yesterday or the day before yesterday, not to be very exact. He was in Nyatike and he was speaking to the Dennis Onyango. Dennis Onyango used to be a communication director for the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. He used to communicate to us, especially on the events of the Right Honorable Prime Minister. So Raymond Omolo is there, and it is something that uh, the politicians are seeing like Raymond Omolo is a bridge on how President William Ruto is getting inroads in the Luo nation. And these were areas that Ruto did not get a lot of support. But for now, if you compare back then and now, actually through Raymond Omolo, the President William Ruto has gained so much inroad in Nyanza. So that is something that maybe one time we will talk about, or one day we will talk about. And I will also engage Kennedy Ondiek, Honorable Kennedy Ondiek, a politician, one day to come and at least assist us with that. There's also something that is happening, Makobura. We know Jirongo's death, especially in the highway, is creating some questions. The big questions that people are asking about the Jirongo's death. Things are not adding up, and it is now something of national conversation. We will talk about that. There's also what happened in Kiambu, especially when President was hosted in Kiambu the other day. We saw the drama, and that one brings us to what we call the political of Mount Kenya. We are seeing the crowd that gathered around President, that gathered to listen to President William Ruto. We saw the dramatics and the showdown that happened in the church, and this also leaving us with a question about the church, the political pulpit, and the spiritual. Where do we draw the lines? So that is also a question that we will talk about. Lastly, there's also this conversation that has been going on, especially about Maverick Aoko, Babu Owino, and Mama Ida. You know, there's a literature that Maverick Aoko wrote about Mama Ida that did not go well with a large majority of people, with a good majority, and there are quarters who believe that Maverick Aoko went overboard. And since you know that Maverick Aoko is a good friend to Babu Owino, so all now people are going on attacking Babu Owino. So there's a conversation that is also going on right now. So there's so much that is going on that we need to talk about. Maybe just to give you a chance, maybe if you have something new on your side. So before we go into the main discussion.
Maybe to what I've also
Go ahead. Sorry about that.
what I've seen, of course, being talked about mostly, of course, is the issue of Maverick,
Yeah.
and the comments that she
Mm-hmm.
wrote in the platforms. Maverick Kahoko is one, you know, it's one. I don't know whether to call a blogger or I don't know which good term, the best term I can use
Mm-hmm.
describe Maverick Kahoko. Of course, what
Mm-hmm.
she did brought a lot of issues,
Mm-hmm.
and the people of Kenya are asking
Mm-hmm.
why, why she did that.
Mm-hmm.
And since she is a friend to Babu,
Mm-hmm.
the question that is coming out is that,
Yes.
remember, Babu has always shown interest in taking over from Baba,
Mm-hmm.
Raila Amolo Odinga. And so the question that people are asking is whether she's speaking on behalf of Babu. Is it a way of doing politics, or what
Mm-hmm.
exactly
Yeah.
is happening? And uh, all those people who are closer to the Raila's family
Mm-hmm.
and the supporters of Raila, majority of them are seeing or are saying that she might be speaking on behalf of Babu, and it is the political tactic that they're trying to come up with, to convince the people of Kenya, or to
Yeah.
let the people know that Babu exists. But again,
Mm-hmm.
Babu on his timeline also came out
Mm-hmm.
and gave his version.
Mm-hmm.
He said that yes, he accepts the fact that they are friends,
Yeah.
but again, he doesn't. I mean, she doesn't speak for him, and she doesn't
Mm-hmm.
speak on her behalf.
Yes, Makobura. Yes, I'm seeing our good brother here, a good friend who we've not seen for quite a long time. Uh, Ndwari. It's been long. I don't know when he was here. Or so happy to see you at Ndwari, and welcome to the show. And also, also. Oh, our screen keeps on getting smaller. Yeah, we will work on it. I think it's StreamYard is coming up with quite a number of upgrades on their app, so maybe that could be the reason why. But Makobura, you've talked of something that Maverick has always been Babu's friend, and I can remember when we were starting this, we were coming up with the channel. Among the other people that we had a conversation with was Maverick Haoko. And we had a very nice conversation, but like Maverick has always been printing some materials on her
Would you allow me to just assist? This is good year
yeah.
on what she has posted. That your screen keeps getting smaller. I think on Facebook you'll realize that there's two versions. There's one version that is on post portrait, and there's one version that is on landscape.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a new update that Streamia did come with. But if you are not conversant with the portrait, because I can see you are checking, I mean,
Yeah, she's
showing us
on portrait.
yeah, we're able to see on this side that you're watching on the portrait. So you
Mm.
can just refresh and then go to Brother Benson Media and click the right one. It will give you two options. So you're supposed to click the landscape one so that you get
Yes,
to watch the right. I mean, the
the
best
bigger,
version.
yeah, like the larger, the bigger screen. So thank you so much, Makobura, for that. And politically speaking, politically speaking, um, this when you look at it politically, because like Babu Owino is somebody that is being talked about, is somebody has a very high ambition to be Nairobi governor. When issues like this come, or issues like this emerge, your competitors will take advantage of that, you know. So politically, because politics is all about looking at your weakness point, and on your weakest point, that is where they build their strength. So it is something that is in the public domain. But again, Mama Ida, I think she went too far, especially for Mama Ida, knowing very well that.
Brother Benson, maybe I think you allow me to give just a clarification or a background of who Maverick is and what
Yeah.
she does.
Mm-hmm.
I think it will partly give a clarification of who really she is.
Mm,
So, of course, Maverick Aoko, her real name is, of course, Scoffin Aoko
mm,
Otieno.
mm,
She's a Kenyan political activist. She's a
mm.
journalist by profession. So many times she has always confirmed that. And she has also worked with very close, big, some cabinet secretaries, members of parliament, among others.
To handle their
And
social media platforms, yeah, as a
yeah.
communication expert.
Yeah, she's also, of course, a media, social media personality, and
Mhm,
I can describe as a bold, unfiltered political commentator, known for, of course, controversial takes. That at some particular point, if you can remember, the only person who used to be controversial in up on his or her political commentating was Miguna. But then Maverick came and took the unfiltered, of course, trade from him, and
mhm,
she's continuing that with it. Maverick
mhm.
is also a blogger and, of course, an internet personality. Uh, and she is from Migori, if I'm not wrong. But some people
Mm.
are also saying she's from Kisumu. From
Nyakach.
my from my sources, she has stayed in Migori for long, but I hear
Mm,
she's from Nyakach, that is in Kisumu County. Someone, of course, who frequently she does engage frequently on political debates and, of course, social issues in Kenya.
mhm.
And something else I can say about her is that she's a figure who she has faced several legal battles. Remember
Yeah.
the other day when she was taken to court for allegedly cyber harassment and defamation. And this lady, she's still young. She was born in 1992. And of course, she has built a brand on a provocative, if I can say, and of course, in a confrontational political commentary. This is who she is. She's been used, of course, with political leaders, those who are interested on, on blogging. She's done a lot. We've had the controversials that she's had with some senior political leaders. Sometimes she has. They've gone. Whenever the people that she has worked with, whenever they go against her wishes or against the contract, she will come out and expose it without filtering, and
Mhm.
that is who she is.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much. And maybe not to dwell so much about, you've talked about senior counsel, we call General Miguna. You've compared, and Maverick Aoko also, I think, is I can see some kind of like characteristic features on printing of the social media about. I don't know whether you remember Jacob Juma. Jacob Juma used also to be such controversial and posting things that but when you look at Jacob Juma, some of the posts of Jacob Juma have come to pass, and some of them have been say that they were like prophetic, and when you look at Maverick Aoko, even some of our posts, some of them at some point they might be true, at some point they are not, but like that is who she is. But I think on Mama Ida, I think she went too far at this moment in time, because we know that Mama Ida is still still mourning the husband, and and we're talking about the relationship now that they have with Babu, whether it is blogging or it is what. But now this puts Babu especially in an awkward position politically, because like even if Babu Wino could come out and say that everything that is being written or anything that is being printed, does not is not of my approval. How you cannot convince your political competitors or your political enemy. So that is there. That is also something that is people are talking about, especially in the social media. Now, Makobura, there's something that is quite much changing a twist here. Cyrus Jirongo dies in Naivasha highway crash amid probe questions. There are so many questions that are coming out, especially in Cyrus Jirongo's death. Because if you look at the police say Jirongo attempted to overtake around 3 a.m. on Nairobi Nakuru highway, leading to a head-on crash with the Climber coaches bus carrying 65 passengers. No serious injuries occurred to the bus, but experts dispute the official account, citing underdeployed airbags, minimal bus damage, and crash dynamics that do not match simple collision. Jirongo had been at Karen meeting and was headed home to Gigiri, yet ended up in 90 kilometers away in Naivasha, prompting called for CCTV review and passenger statement as his funeral committee plans on December are on the way. So these are now the questions that are coming, Makobura, especially if you involve in the road accident, especially in this age and era, we know for a fact that we are in the camera era, that people are usually having their smartphones. There's nothing that can happen without being captured in the camera. We've not seen any camera that have captured this accident. These are now the questions that people are raising. Two, does it mean that where this occurred, there was no any other passengers or any standard somebody was standing by to come and tell the story how it happened? Another question is from Haniri, the former senator for Vihiga. They talked with Cyrus Jirongo at around 11 because one, this is what he says, that there's a place, he just said that, I quote him, there's a place in Karen, Oasis. So he went there at around 9 and he saw Jirongo in the company of the House Speaker, Moses Wetangula, and 2 other gentlemen. And he said that he knows Speaker, of course, and the other guy who was with them, who is the owner of the restaurant, and the other fella, he did not know him. So he left and went to another place within the vicinity because he also had a meeting. That is the way he narrates. Then later he called Jirongo at around 11 and he said that I'm still at the same place. So they were supposed to be meeting at Kisia's place the following day. But at 3, he was being called that he had an accident. So the question is, from 11, 3 a.m., he was supposed to be going at his home, not the rural home. Those are the questions. The second question that now people are asking, when the bus was carrying 65, his only driver who came out to speak on what happened. But if you look at the bus and you look at the impact of the Mercedes-Benz, people feel like it doesn't add up. Yeah, no casualties. And remember, he was going where? Home. They were saying he was coming to Nairobi. And the bus was going to that side. And this bus, for sure, carrying the residents of Western Kenya. Do you think, in your own observation, or in your own thinking that, okay, this carrying people from Western, these are all Waluya, majority of them, and they've come to realize that, okay, the person who had an accident is Jirongo. And Jirongo is a well-known son of the soil. I don't know. Can they fail to post or even to update on their social media and say that, and them coming out to account what happened. It's only driver who has spoken. The other 65 have not spoken. So those are the questions that are coming up on Jirongo's death.
Yeah. Of course, I can call it the doubts, questions, of course, which are, of course, surrounding the death of Jirongo.
Yeah.
And, Jirongo, as much as he was a politician, and of late he wasn't really people's favorite. But I can tell you, he's been in the deep state. He understands governance. He understands how governments operate, and he has so many secrets of how governments are run. And being that majority of these people are currently holding positions, while his close allies or friends, he also knows the many negative or the good things that either of them has done. And not once, Jirongo is not was a fearless person. Remember the
Yeah.
many times that he came out and he quoted or he mentioned that he knows that some politicians killed some people. Some of them were even killed on his while he was seeing. Not once he has said these things. And the reports which are currently coming out is that, of course, the family, close allies, former political colleagues, and majority of them are politicians from the Western region, those that he was close with and those that he was with.
Yeah.
They are openly, of course, questioning the official narrative of his death. And, there's, there's something that is not adding up, because the question is, that is being asked, or they're also asking, and the family is also asking, the people of Kenya wants to know that why was Jirongo in Naivasha at 3 a.m.? Because according to the families and Jirongo, he had told them that he was traveling from Karen to his home in Gigiri. Of course, both are within Nairobi. And something else that is coming up is that he was found dead, in Naivasha, far from that route. This is the biggest red flag raised, of course, by the friends and the families. And I remember this member of parliament, Haniri, if I'm not wrong, he was saying that
Yeah.
he was traveling. He had a conversation with him, and he was traveling from Karen to his home. Karen to his home in Gigiri. And the question is, how did he end up several meters away from his home? This, of course, is contradiction, has triggered, of course, a lot of calls. And I would also add that a full investigation needs to be done on this, because number two, something that is also coming up is the route. The route also makes no sense, because if somebody is in Karen, if you've ever lived in Nairobi, you'll understand these things. That if you are within Karen, and you want to travel to Gigiri, it is a very short intercity route, within Nairobi. Naivasha is almost 80 or 100 kilometers away, actually in the opposite direction. So the people of Kenya are asking, why did he leave Nairobi?
Yeah.
What was he going to do over there? Where was he even going?
Yeah.
Who was he meeting in Naivasha, or that area that he went? Was he diverted? Those are some of the questions that we are asking. That was he diverted? Did somebody take him over there? Did somebody lure him out of the city? Those are the questions that needs to be answered. And then his final movements are also unclear, because in this era, just like you did mention, we've got the CCTV, we've got all the things that are required to ensure that at least a trace of him is given to the people. Where was he even before the crash? We are being told that he was in a petrol station. And this petrol station, this is a witness who is coming out to tell us that he was coming from a petrol station. The police are not clearly giving that he was from a petrol station. From the statement of the driver, is the one who is putting the situation and, clarifying everything. That is also something that we have to question as a people,
And
because Jirongo was a former minister, former member of parliament. Well, he can drive himself. But why was he alone at this particular moment, 3 a.m., without anybody even knowing? Where?
Mm.
You know, why was he at a petrol station at that particular? I mean, moments before the collision. That is also
Mm.
something that we have to be told, because why is it that he was coming from a petrol station, and then immediately from the petrol station, that is when now, the accident happened.
And
Considering
and
the
and
sums of cash,
and and
also.
and something that is not adding up. Remember, um, when this accident happened, yeah, he was supposed to be overtaking. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So where were the vehicles on the other side? They are not even talking.
And why were they even, if normally we've seen people overtaking, if they're saying that there was a jam on this other side,
Yes.
if he was overtaking, then at least two or three vehicles that were he was overtaking also
Mm-hmm.
might have been, he might have also hit them, or the bus that he collided with must have also hit, hit the cars on this other side.
Because it's not adding up. And there's something that also George Honorable George Haniri said that at around 10:58, this is as account of George Haniri on Friday, one of his best friend, former Senator Haniri, called him. Jirongo was at Karen Oasis having a tea with the National Assembly Speaker Wetangula. Kaniri joked, asking him why he was still out when they had an important meeting the next day. Yeah, he told me that he had finished and was just about to go home. Kaniri says phone records show that call ended at 11:03. That is the conversation they had. His caretaker Joseph Odoli confirms that the plan supper was waiting at his Gigiri home at around 10 to 15. It's about 10 to 15 minutes drive from Karen. This is established fact. Cyrus Jirongo left Karen at 11 p.m. ostensibly for his bed in Gigiri. Yet, roughly 3 hours later, his body was found in a wreckage of his car near Karai, Naivasha, over 150 kilometers away on a highway leading from Nakuru to Nairobi. Now, this is leading from Nakuru to Nairobi. So which means Jirongo, within that short time, Jirongo had drove from his home in Luyaland, and now he was coming back to Nairobi. And so those are the question. Now, another thing that also happened. So when you look at the distance is almost 90 to around 8 kilometers, not 100. Yeah, it's 150. It's, I think, like the kilometers is between around 90 to around 80 to around 150 approximately. Mm. So
You know what, Brother Benson?
mhm.
Uh, I'm quite sure you understand cars.
Yeah.
And you know the kind of machine or the kind of vehicle that Jirongo was driving is one of the most luxurious Mercedes Benz.
Yeah.
A car with, of course, quite high specs. It has, of course, the speed. I mean,
The safety features.
collision.
How about the safety features are
Yeah, very high. And again, if you hear the explanation of the driver was saying that when he saw this vehicle coming, he decided to brake, and he braked. So that means that the vehicle, this Mercedes or Jirongo, hit the bus while the bus was already, at a stop, from the
Mhm.
explanation that we are getting. And the question
Yeah.
we ask is, well, with the good features that Mercedes Benz has, how possible was it that it didn't brake? And even if it did eat all this, the bus, the explanation, if you hear what was given out, there are no serious airbags that were blown to protect the victim. And also, the other question that is also coming, if he was, of course, overlapping on the wrong, I mean, the police is saying that he was overlapping in the wrong lane. And, when I had the driver giving a take,
Mhm.
like it was him who was driving, because he was saying that the passenger seems to have looked at his side, and due to high traffic he was
Mhm.
calculating to overlap, I mean to overtake.
Mhm.
you know it doesn't really add up. The
Mhm.
family, of course, are asking. I mean, are saying that the explanation is too convenient. Of course, the wreckage are more questions than answers. Raises more questions than answers. Because if you see the videos or the photos of that particular wreckage, you will ask
Mhm.
yourself so many questions. So the only thing that can now help over here is a forensic examination or a post-mortem,
Mhm.
and that would also depend, because the kind of country we are living. Whenever such kind of things happen, a government-led investigation has to come
Mhm.
in, and
Mhm.
if not once but several times you've heard
Mhm.
of senior government officials dying, and you know how the government takes time to release
Mhm.
uh, all those particular all those particular me, I personally have so many questions because I have
You,
been exposed to the
you
whole thing.
know, and let me what Sam is. There's something that Sam is asking here, which I wanted to talk about it. The bus is only losing. No, the bumper. You don't need the forensic. You know. Thank you, good dear. So this is what Sam is asking. Why did the airbag deploy? There was a time. Let me tell you what happened. What happened? I was one person that has been involved in car accident, and I can remember that I was driving, and there was this light. So at the light, there's what we call the right of way. So because like I was going straight, so this guy wanted to turn because I had the right of way. So he wanted to like to cut the light, how do I say that? To move very quickly. So
Before the light fully turns red.
yes, but I had the so what happened? Uh, the airbag that came out hit me on the face. And after hitting me on the face, and like your face was numb, like and the another thing I saw was the smoke coming. So I had to unseat the seat belt and came out immediately. And you don't have like the state of mind at that particular moment, especially if you know as a driver you've involved yourself in accident and somebody has passed on. You know, it is not very easy for you to gain that courage and come to the camera. That is one. Two, there's no way 65 people, none of them can come and tell us what happened. There that panic that you have to have as a person, you know. Then the police house also have to make sure that you talk to people and say that if anybody is at a critical condition, because like you never know, there's panic. But we are not seeing and we are not even getting anybody from the bus. So I think there's something wrong. Yeah. So yeah. So in Kenya, red light means green. Yeah. So I think the death of Jirongo on the highway will raise more questions than answer. And from the look of things, the family, and his closest friends are not going to be convinced that Jirongo was involved in the road accident, even from what George Haniri was counting about what happened, that he broke his leg and one of his hands. So there's too much that is going on Haniri's in Jirongo's death, and this is something that we will be following during this week. It will take the center stage. And people might be reaping political assassination. We are waiting for the expert, especially the forensic expert from the government, them to give reports, and we will be waiting. So that is also a question
You
that.
know, me one thing that I would also want these people to answer me is
Mhm,
we are Kenyans and Kenya is our business.
mhm,
We would want to know, because we have experts, we want to know why was Jirongo in Naivasha
mhm,
if he had no businesses there that night, or whether he had businesses there that he was attending to.
mhm,
He was a
mhm,
Kenyan politician. He was a public figure. We want to know. We also want to know who he was meeting, starting from Karen all the way to where he died, because no one has come forward to tell us that we were with him in Naivasha or we spoke with him. Even if we was in Karen, well,
Mhm.
if he decided that he was going to Naivasha or home, at least he would have told somebody in Karen that, you know what, I'm not going to Gigiri now, I'm going to somewhere else. We want that person to come out and tell us. Something else that we want to know is, why did he leave Karen and end
Mm.
up in 100 kilometers away from Karen? This is contradicting his statement destination, the one that he had with his close friends.
And
And
Makobura,
considering the time as well.
another question that we can also ask, because if he was coming from the Western Kenya to Nairobi, so how did he drove all the way, or did he miss the road and reach somewhere, then say that, oh, I'm in the wrong place now, I'm coming back? Because they say he was driving from home. And another question that I also, that if somebody can answer me this, then I will be convinced that something happened. This time and error in everywhere, not only in Kenya, especially in a highway, because we know majority of times, so many buses do the night shifts, and some other people are using the road, and this is a two-way. Does it mean the people on the other side, even after 10 minutes after everything? And Kenyans, Kenya is a place where bunduki kilia hapa, instead of people going for safety, wataenda kuangalia nini imefanyika. It has always happened. Yeah.
I know, even at night, they will wake up to go see what really happened. Is there
waende
anything
kwa
that they
scene
take out
na
of it? I
scene
know.
is not, lazima Mkenya aende angalie ni nini inafanyika. Kwani hii ilikuwa ni utofauti gani, ambapo hata wenye walikuwa wanapita na gari hawakukuwa na dhubutu, hawakukuwa na hebu tuangalie ni nini imefanyika.
Eric here is saying that story Asija is normal. Drink under the influence of alcohol. I beg the family not to dig. I disagree with him, because even if you're drunk, people have been drinking, not once. People have drunk bana. That is somebody who has drunk milele na milele. Sasa hii jana ndio aliamua kudrink, alafu hiyo pombe ikampeleka all the way from Nairobi to Naivasha.
Okay. No, Mama. Okay, Makobura. We are just, there's so many questions that even what Erika Yaga, remember he was a tenderpreneur. So maybe business gone sour, but like we will be waiting for the security apparatus or the forensic investigation, and maybe we'll give the Kenyans update that is going to convince them. So we will be following. Ayaga, I hope you're doing fine. It has been long. Sammy is saying, remember he was a tenderpreneur. So okay, that is there. But politics will take the center stage of his death. That's another thing with Kenyans. Kenya, something can start well with an investigation, but at the end of the day, it is going to be politicized. At the end of the day, no reports or what you will get. So we will be with that. Hey, brother Ben. Laban, thank you so much, and I hope you're doing fine. Okay, Makubura, let's go to Kiambu. What happened yesterday at Kiambu, especially at the church event that was organized by the member of, it was in Gatundu North, where the president was there. And we saw showdown of power, or the strength, whereby people were, everybody hired the person to praise them more so that they could get attention of the president. We also saw what happened with Wamatangi and Nganga Kuria, the MP who, the member of parliament for Thika, who intends to challenge Governor Wamatangi in 2027. But there's so many things that I did pick from there. And maybe for the first question to you, do you see President William Ruto gaining influence in Mount Kenya back? is because, like, I've seen he has, you saw what the pastor said and what is happening in the crowd that really waited for him after the church service, that he addressed the largest crowd, and the reception was good. Is he getting that influence back? Is restressing his influence in Mount Kenya?
Brother Ben, if you've been studying the politics of the Republic of Kenya, then if you've ever put your interest, then the most difficult people to deal with politically are people from the Mount Kenya region and the Nyanza region, particularly the Luos. If Luos do not want you in politics, no matter what, if Raila tells them no, no matter what, even if you
Raila is
bring
not
them,
there.
I'm just giving you an example. He's no longer there, but I'm just giving you an example of what used to happen. If Luos were told by Raila not to give you a vote, even if you bring them whatever, you carry earth and bring to them and tell them that we are giving you a new, continent, they will never vote for you. It is similar thing with the people of Mount Kenya.
Yeah.
The Mount Kenya region have also behaved or have also acted in a way that if they don't want you, or if they have a point to prove that you're not worth being given their support, even if you do whatever you do, you'll never change their mind.
Yeah.
That as we've seen that in Mount Kenya. Remember, the Mount Kenya people really loved and liked and voted for William Samoei Ruto. Majority of them did vote for him, and they trusted him. They saw him as a leader who was going to change their lives. I don't know whether he has changed their lives or not. It is upon them to judge or to say or to give us their view. But what I can say is that it is not going to be easy, being that Rigathi Gachagua and majority of the Mount Kenya region leaders are regrouping, and the narrative out there is that William Samoei Ruto do not have the interest of the people of Mount Kenya. That, of course, is a clarity that majority of the people of Mount Kenya might not vote or continue with the good relationship. I mean, liking the president, or even giving him a chance in matters of assisting him in his demand or in his wish of getting the second term.
Yeah.
It is not going to be easy, and I can say particularly here that even if we got to the elections of 2027, that the Mount Kenya region would still, I mean, majority of the leaders would still stand with William Samoei Ruto. I can tell you he'll never get more than 50% of the votes of Mount Kenya region. That, of course, will also depend on the developments that he would have taken to the Mount Kenya region. But above all, it is going to be a decision that is going to be made by the Mount Kenya region, and also it is also going to depend on the productivity of the members who are coming from the Mount Kenya region, particularly on matters to do with development. Whether, because the attack outside there is that if you are a member of parliament supporting the president, the question they're asking is, what is it that you've brought to the people? What is it that the president has given you to bring to the people? That is the narrative, and that is, of course, the thinking of the people of that region. And they are being attacked on the basis of development. If they don't get that development, partly apart from what they're getting from the constitution, if they don't get something extra from the president, it is not going to be easy for them as well to convince the people.
Okay, my brother Simba, habari gani? Simba. Okay, akikuja na Makubura, there's something here that you have to learn, or I think politics is all about perception. And President William Ruto is a very good, especially when it like to creating that perception. And let me just read for you something here. And this is something that was done by, was published by Pauline Jirongo. let me see what Pauline Njoroge published. This is something that was published by Pauline Njoroge. I usually check on what Pauline Njoroge usually posts on the social media. You know, and that one would give you look at. Let me see what Pauline Njoroge. I just pulled it. What Pauline Njoroge posted on social media. Let me see, where is it? I wish I could have checked it yesterday. Okay, as I looking for that, I'm talking about the perception, and the perception that was created yesterday. If you look at even what happened, you know, that is something that we're going to talk about. But now let's come about the church, because we are seeing that trend again, whereby the president is going through the church, and if you can listen even to what the pastor or the bishop of the day said, that actually urge people to vote for president. We to call it the pulpit politics, and that's why I was telling you, Mr. President William Ruto, is he getting back the Mount Kenya because he's starting to go through church?
Maybe I found that comment for Pauline. Allow me to read it.
Oh yeah, you can read it.
Pauline Njoroge, William Ruto is back in Mount Kenya.
Yes.
And he knows what you people are like. He will give it to you well. As you keep lying to yourselves and everyone else that an elephant is not buried with its tusk, therefore the reason you keep turning up at his rallies, those massive crowds you form, and the wild cheers you make are being watched by Kenyans from the other regions. And they're saying to themselves, wow, if this man still has this level of command in Mount Kenya, then he is clearly the man to beat in 2027. In that case, why should we align with anyone else? Let's join him to be part of the next government. They say perception is everything in politics. The guy has the strategy, he has the money, he has you lovers of elephant tusk to create the perception he needs out there. End of quote.
Okay, so that is what I was telling you, that the politics is all about perception, politics is all about the strategy, and politics is all about if you have money, especially when you look at the Kenyan politics. And from the look of things, if you saw the crowd, to me, it signals for me something that President William Ruto is kind of like gaining back the trust of Mount Kenya people. Simba, how are you doing?
I'm good, brother Ben. Habari ya jioni?
Salama, siku mingi.
Niko salama. Sisi tuko salama kabisa na tunapiga hiyo debe ya 2 term. Now,
okay, wacha debe ya 2 term. Wacha tulikuulize swali kakangu. Kuna swali mengi ambayo mimi nataka kukuuliza, labda unaweza kaniambia. Kabla tujaenda katika swala la rais kuwa pale Kiambu jana na hata ya Jirongo, kuna yale maono yanaonekana kwamba Raymond Omolo anapenya sana katika eneo la Luo Nyanza, kwa sababu jana alikuwa huko eneo la Nyatike na Dennis Onyango. Unajua Dennis Onyango alikuwa msemaji wa mkuu wa baba, yeye alikuwa tu wa baba kabisa. Na kuna wale ambao wanatoka sehemu ya Nyanza, wale maviongozi wanaona kama hiyo ni tishio. We kwako unaweza sema vipi?
Hiyo ni dalili kwamba serikali Raymond Omolo ni PS wa internal security, and you know the weight behind that docket. It's like he's coordinating security across the country. Not only security, there is a lot that comes with it. But I think what he's doing is laying ground well for the president. And the president, as normal, is overworking.
Nyinyi kama watu wa ODM haikuwa ni tisho kwenyu sana sana kama watu wa ODM, kwa sababu inamaanisha kwamba ikifika wakati wa uchaguzi ienda ikawa rais akapata hata wajumbe katika chama cha Jubilee, ingawaje watakuwa katika broad based government, lakini utapata kwamba watapata wabunge katika chama cha UDA not Jubilee, na hiyo itakuwa ni kama inapoteza maarufu ya ODM katika eneo hilo.
Sikiza brother Ben, nikwambie jambo moja. Hii Kenya ni nchi moja, lakini sijui kama ulisoma kitabu cha kusadikika. Social media imeform nchi ingine ya Social Media Republic of Kenya, which is not existing. Vile kusadikika ilikuwa nchi hewa. So haya mambo yote ambayo tunayoyaongea, mimi kwanza proof yenye ninakupatia North na Malava constituency. After all these shenanigans and vitu zingine ambazo zilifanyika all over, you know the outcome na mahali tuko. Mimi nataka nitoke hapo. Rais Ruto alijaribu sana baada ya kuwa na mgawanyiko katika mlima. Unajua ni mtu ambaye amekaa katika siasa for a very long time, and for a fact wakati aligawanya mlima ukawa mara mbili, Mount Kenya East na Mount Kenya, hiyo ilikuwa ni his strategy, he retained it. Two, hiyo Mount Kenya yenye ilipaki, amerudi Kiambu, anataka kutenga Kiambu na Mount Kenya, na Kiambu is in Nairobi. Na hiyo I'm telling you, hata kama Mount Kenya Ruto hatapata kura, kura zenye atapata zitakuwa nyingi sana kuliko hata kura zenye Raila alikuwa anapata, zaidi ya kura milioni 2. Na mtu yeyote mwenye anasimama urais na atapata kura zaidi ya milioni 2 kutoka Mount Kenya, na hiyo foundation ya William Ruto is infrastructure, na hiyo ndio kitu Raila Amolo Odinga alikuwa anaongelea. Wakati ilikuwa hivyo, wale watu ameweka katika ule msingi wa infrastructure in Kenya ni vijana wa Mount Kenya. Hiyo ndio njia yenye yeye amesema huu ndio msingi yenye ninafuata, na hizo kura atazipata kwa njia ya uraisi.
Okay, asante sana ndugu yangu. Kabla hujaenda pia niko na swali ambayo nataka kuuliza hapa, kwa sababu kuna hii jambo ambalo sasa imekuwa ni inazungumziwa sana katika mlingo wa siasa, hata katika nchi. Kifo cha Jirongo ambayo ilitokea kwa ajali ya barabarani. Kuna maswali ambao watu wanauliza, ni kama wanapata kwamba habari ambayo yalitolewa ya kwanza ni kama haionyeshi kwamba ni ajali. Wewe kwako unaweza sema vipi?
For one, wacha kwanza nichukue muda huu niseme pole kwa jamii ya Jirongo, lakini jambo la kusikitisha sana ni Jirongo si Mkenya wa kawaida. Jirongo ni mwanasiasa, ni mwanabiashara, na pia amewahi shikilia nyadhifa mbalimbali. So jambo moja ambalo mimi nitasema, it was very unfortunate kwamba Jirongo alipata kifo akiwa peke yake. For one, sidhani kama kuna ripoti ya muhimu ambayo itatokea, ni kuombea jamii wapate nguvu wamulase Jirongo, kwa sababu yeye ashaaga. Lakini haya mengine najua ni mambo ya siasa tu, najua ni mambo ya siasa. Mtu akifa ilikuwa ni ajali, lakini sasa jambo la kwanza, Jirongo hakuwa anatafutwa na mtu yeyote kwamba ametoweka, ni ajali iliyofanyika. Lakini kama kuna mambo mengine na kama kuna njia yenye watu wanaweza kuyafikia, hata sisi tungetaka kujua ni nini ilifanyika.
Okay. Asante sana, kwa sababu unajua venye umesema hapo awali, si mtu wa kawaida ukiangalia katika jamii ya Kenya ama katika nchi ya Kenya, kwa sababu ni mtu ambaye ukiangalia maisha yake ni maisha ambaye sana sana amekulia katika siasa, amefanya kazi na aliyekuwa rais wa awamu wa pili, that is rais hayati Moi, na pia ni mwanabiashara, na unajua katika mambo ya biashara huwezi jua, lakini unajua kitu ambacho kinashangaza wengi, ambapo watu wanauliza ni kwamba jinsi alivyotoweka ndio inaleta tatanishi, na hili nafanya Wakenya wanauliza swali, labda kama labda tuseme kama ni kweli, labda alikuwa na shida na wale ambao wanafanya nao biashara, ama wale ambao nini na nini, unajua ipo, lakini ni sawa sawa, sisi tutangoja kwa sababu iko katika mkono wa polisi ambao wako na ujuzi ya kufanya uchunguzi na watapatia Wakenya ripoti. Wacha sasa turudi hapa kwa swala ya siasa, kabla sijaleta Makobura pali tulikuwepo. Jana rais alikuwa eneo la Kiambu, na alikuwa ameenda, ilikuwa ni mambo ya kuomba, alikuwa ameenda pale kanisani kusali, lakini kuna jambo ambalo tulikuwa tumeona kwamba yalitokea pale mbele yake. Unadhani yale drama zote ama yale maigizo yale yalikuwa nafanyika pale, watu walikuwa naigiza zale mombe zote mbele ya rais, unadhani inatoa sifa nzuri kwa nchi na hata uongozi wake?
Sidhani kama yale mambo yalikuwa yake yeye mwenyewe moja kwa moja,
si yake, kwa sababu si yake, lakini wale ambao walikuwa wanafanya hayo matukio mbele ya rais, inampatia picha gani na nchi?
Inampatia picha kwamba bado yeye ako na umaarufu na wale wafuasi wake hawakuwahi ondoka, wako na yeye.
Okay, labda wewe ni pale kuna makosa kwa sababu pale tuko na rais na watu wanajifanya vile.
Labda namekwambia mara mingi yeye ni tu tamu. Sasa what are you expecting? What are you expecting? Ndugu yetu labda ni kusema ukweli. Ninakwambia vile ipo. Sasa nashangaa mbona unasimbua labda na maneno mingi.
Unajua labda ni wewe kitu. Acha nikwambie jambo moja. Nataka nikuelezee jambo moja. Katika Mlima Kenya kuna kuanga na vitu viwili. Kuna Kikuyu Council of Elders na kanisa. So huku unajipanga, unajua Raila alitumia hiyo club ya Mount Kenya Council of Elders. Hiyo ndio imemsumbua sana, lakini William Ruto knows njia yenye anafuata.
All right. Thank you so much. And there's something here that many mistake that people keep on making. There's nothing like incoming. Whether you're a member of parliament or incoming.
Can I give allow me to just give my version for this, and then you'll ask the other question. To me, the incident, or I can call it a public clash that we saw or we witnessed. Of course, it happened in front of the president, and it was during this time. Of course, the president had visited a church fundraising event in Gatundu North, if I'm not wrong. And what we saw is a political showdown among, of course, the Kiambu governor, Kimani Wamatangi, Thika Town MP, Alice Ng'ang'a. Kimani is the current sitting governor of Kiambu. Alice Ng'ang'a, the MP of Thika Town, is she wants to become a governor in the coming general election 2027. And the question that I'm asking myself is, why would a member of parliament get the guts of coming before the president and before a sitting governor and start saying that I'm going for governorship in 2027? And yet we've just finished 2 or 3 years since they were given the opportunity to perform their duties. To me, that was wrong. Even coming out in front of the leaders the president to do that, it was not wrong. It was wrong. It shows lack of respect. Or either way, I can say that the bad behavior has been shown by the political leader or the UDA or the president. That is why you find that even small or young politicians are swaying. They are what? They are swaying themselves and behaving in that matter. I mean, in that manner. It is not a good thing
Mm-hmm.
for elected leaders who are still serving, who still has like 2 or 3 years to finish their term, to come before the president and say, I mean, start speaking about a position that it is wrong. To me, this was not a small, of course, disagreement. It was a full-blown supremacy battle happening in front of the president, and also showing lack of respect to the president and to the entire people of Kenya.
Uh, uh,
And
uh, okay, go ahead.
I can say that I had a saying that very soon, allow me to quote her. She was saying that very soon I will be, this is Alice Nganga, openly telling, of course, the president, who is our president, William Samoei Ruto, and the congregation, that very soon I'm going to be the boss here in Kiambu. There's a sitting governor, a sitting president, and you're telling the people that you're going to be a boss here in Kiambu. And they call me Mama Simba. Why would you do such a thing? Those are politics, cheap politics, politics that needs to be to be stopped, because it is not right. It is a mockery of the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. It is a mockery of the congregation. Shows lack of respect even for the president himself. I saw Wamatang also coming out to give his take. Of course, he did not stay silent. We know the politicians. He responded, and of course dismissed the ambitions of Nganga, saying that he had no development record, and accusing her of relying on empty rhetoric, declaring he will defend his seat in 2027, which is not, of course, a bad thing, but also him coming out to say that she has no development record. I think these are all politicians. They are on the platform. The best thing they're supposed to do is to work for the people and let the people decide and to speak whether they've done development or not. The same thing should be left for the people. I saw the Ruto, the president standing to intervene, and of course, he was not amused, because it is a culture that has been created within the Republic of Kenya. And, he partly tried to stop the calm or the chaos, where I saw him telling Kiambu leaders to stop Hali campaign, which is a good thing. You have to remind them, but again, him as the president also has to stop the Hali campaigns and focus on delivering for the people of Kenya. So I saw the president, of course, told them to focus on development, unite instead of fighting. Because of course, if they do not unite and they are going to be within that UDA, I can tell you it is also going to be disastrous for him. And I saw the president saying that politics, ati ameona politics, politics have eaten up here, mambo imechamuka huko. I saw him saying that it is not right for them to do that, and it was also not right that was a president's, I can call it was a president's day, and they were hijacking, the protocols of the presidency to come and give cheap politics or their interest, which is not good. And I can also say that Kiambu is entering into early succession politics.
Okay.
And whenever we witness such kind of behaviors, it is not normally safe, or it doesn't make it safer for the citizens. Because when you've seen leaders coming out to portray this character, then it tells you that they are no longer going to focus on development. They are no longer going to focus on performing or delivering for the people or the promises they gave the people of Kenya. But what they are currently going to focus on is, of course, Hali campaigns. And we've always known the political class. They will be spending most of time trying to look for where they're going to get money, because it is now clear that whoever has the more money will get it easy on the ground. So it is not right. That is what I can say.
All right, thank you. And I want to ask Simba some question, especially on especially because, like, if you're very keen enough, but I will look at it in terms of look at it in political view. When you look at the gathering that were there, it seems that each and every person, be it Wamatangi or Alice Nganga or the MP that was there was crowds that were hired to heckle or to cheer each other when they speak, or maybe to show their superiority, you know, in politics and how it works. Simba, maybe just for you, this idea or this tendency of, especially when the gathering, especially we are going and you hire somebody to heckle your competitor, how does it build or how does it bring development? If that is the case, then that is first. Then secondly, I heard Alice Nganga talking about selling of Safaricom shares or any other thing. That it is okay for you to sell, but was that the appropriate or was that the best forum whereby you can articulate those issues? Because such like issues are being talked in the legislative, you know. Simba, your take.
Brother Ben, jambo la kwanza nataka nikwambie ni vile nchi ya Kenya imefanywa kama kikaragosi cha kisiasa. Ndio sababu nilisema mwanzo kabisa, Kenya ikiwa nchi ambayo ina misingi ya demokrasia ya kisiasa, lakini saizi kupitia social media kwa sababu ya mabadiliko vile inakuanga katika mabadiliko ya hali ya anga na pia ni mabadiliko ya kisiasa, ndio sababu mimi nasema kuna nchi nyingine ambayo imeundwa ya kimtandao ambayo imeleta taswira hii yote, lakini at the end of the day hawa watu wote mimi sidhani kama kuna makosa yenye wanafanya. Kwa sababu gani? Hata kama ni mahali mtu amekufa, mtu wako free, na haya watu wa kulia pia wanaweza kuja katika masishi na wanakusaidia kulia. So hii ni siasa, it's normal. Mimi sioni kama kuna shida yoyote.
So wacha tu nikuulize swali na hii bila kupapasa macho ama kuegemea upande fulani ama upande fulani, kwa sababu tunaweza sema kwamba hulka ambayo labda tunaleta katika siasa zetu. Umesema kikaragosi ya siasa ambao sisi tunaleta, na unajua kwa nchi iendelee vizuri lazima tukue na siasa zenye ziko na hadhi, siasa za hadhi kabisa, ambapo ni siasa za heshima. Lakini ukipata mahali ambapo watu walikuwepo jana, ni hapa ni pahali ambapo tunasema kwamba watu walikuwa wamekuja kuabudu, na unapata kwamba pahali ambapo watu wamekuja kuabudu, kanuni na taratibu ama venye sisi ambao watu walilelewa wakajua kwamba ikifika pahali ambao watu wanaabudu, unapata kwamba siasa huwa inawekwa kando, labda tunaweza baadaye. Lakini tunaona kwamba hii ni jambo ambalo linafanyika. Sasa tunyamaze tu kwamba tuseme kwamba hiyo ni kizuri, ama tuseme tu kwa pande zote, yani kwa nchi ambayo kama inataka kuendelea bila kuegemea pande yote?
Sasa mimi nitakupatia jibu ambalo litakuwa kwa kifupi sana. Kama mtu ni Mkristo na ni mwanasiasa, kanisa si ni ya Wakristo?
Ndio Wakristo hao.
Mtu hawezi wacha kuwa mwanasiasa ndio aende katika kanisa, na kanisa haiwezi kuwa bila hao Wakristo. So mimi sioni kama kuna tofauti yoyote, kila kitu iko sawa.
So unasema hayo maneno ambayo yalitendeka pale yatendeke tu kwa sababu hao ni wanasiasa, ambapo mtu anapata nafasi ya kuleta ama kupatiana pesa kuleta watu ambao wakuje wapige kelele mwenzako akiongea, hapo heshima iko wapi?
nataka nikuelezee pale Naivasha, wacha tutoke Kiambu ndio nikupatie taswira ambayo inachora picha yenye unaulizia. Naivasha, ukumbuke wakati mmoja jamii ya Wakorino ambayo ni watu wa kidini ambao wamejisimamia mwaka 2022 Uhuru Kenyatta aliwaita wakawa pamoja, Raila Amolo Odinga akaenda akachanga pesa, kukawa na shamba mpaka wakapewa mpaka shamba. Matokeo yalikuwa tofauti, waliheshimu.
Sasa unajua utofauti ambayo labda mimi naleta ni kwamba mimi sipingi labda kutoa pesa, sikukuwa naongelea msingi hayo. Mimi nakuuliza swali kulingana na mienendo na tabia ambazo zilioneshwa na maviongozi. Hata kuna mahali ambapo ulikuwa unaona mheshimiwa fulani anapapasa hivi mkono yake kuambia ati wale wafuasi wake wapige kelele. Unajua hapa ni pali ambapo watu wamekuja kupata chakula cha roho.
Na ndio sababu nimesikia Marco Bura amesoma ujumbe wa Pauline. Pauline anajulikana ni mtu wa siasa za kimitandao na pia wanachangia katika hayo. So mimi sioni kama kuna shida yoyote, ndio sababu mimi nasema Mlima Kenya kuna vilabu viwili, unachagua ni gani yenye unaona ni rahisi, kwa sababu hiyo yote ni siasa tu na sarakasi.
Sawa sawa, maybe Marco Bura unaweza endelea, narudi. Joseph pia ingia hapo.
Yeah, thank you. Simba Simba ametoka Marco. Okay, thank you so much. Allow me to acknowledge and say a big thank you first to our viewers. I can see a good friend, Good Year. Thank you so much for your consistency and for your views. I can see a good friend, Joseph Kariuki, over here. Thank you so much, Joseph. I can see Laban, who is Simba, who was also here with us. We really appreciate. Thank you so much. Our good friend Eric Ayaga, thank you so much. Spike, thank you so much for finding time to be with us or to join us. Sammy Costa, thank you so much. We really appreciate. We really appreciate you finding time to be with us this evening. We don't take it for granted. We really, really appreciate. And to remind you that this is Brother Benson Media, and of course here we say that your opinion counts. Not forgetting Mike Onyango, thank you so much. Sherry Vince, thank you so much. Gordon as well, thank you so much. Asante sana kwa kupata nafasi kujiunga nasi jioni ya leo, tunashukuru sana. Joseph, sijui kama unakuja, nimekutumia link. Nina swali ambayo nataka unijibu iwezekanavyo. Yeah, so partly today, of course, we've given our views about the mystery of the death of Cyrus Jirongo, and of course the issues of Maverick. And maybe something else that I wanted us to talk about is Babu Owino's health, and of course Babu Owino's health care and political message. And we saw Babu Owino was hospitalized, and of course that was confirmed by himself and his close allies. And quite a number of people, Kenyans, did come to to just say sorry and to wish him quick recovery. And they gave him what I can say support. And he also came out and acknowledged and say a big thank you. And these are some of the things that were trending. And his health, of course, triggered speculation about the succession politics in Nairobi and the Luo Nyanza, where if you went through the comments, people were saying that you are the one they're waiting for, and such kind of things. Something else that I want us to just give a view on, I can see our good friend Joseph is here. Maybe before I give more questions. I know, Joseph, you've been listening. Maybe I give you a chance to you just give us your view on whatever you had us speaking about before I get into specific questions.
Thank you, Brother Makobura. I hope you can hear me. So
Yes,
I have come here. I wanted to converse with Laban, but I seen it's like he has gone. You know, he has thrown in some words and said that there is a base. I don't know which base is that one. Maybe it's a base is creating. I should tell him first he should focus na Kisii politics because Kisii politics bado zina mchenga sana before he can focus with Mount Kenya. Mount Kenya politics, I think people have been telling guys it's a very difficult affair and it's a very dangerous rope. You can remember in 2022, people thought Uhuru and the team, they thought that Mount Kenya people will give Raila the votes, and they were there and they were campaigning, but at long last you saw what happened. So these guys can seem they are laughing with you there, but they are clearly what they know what they are doing. So you can think that it's a base which is there, but it's an imaginary base. I loved that conversation by Laban. But I wanted to converse with him, but I think he dropped. So what you saw in Kiambu was not even a church function. That one was a political function because it started with the bishop. The bishop is the one who started with the political functions. He changed the sermon into a political rally, and it was charged up. I was thinking the bishop of AIPCA was supposed to be a person who is supposed to mediate between teams. What I know is when you become a bishop of the cloth, your work is to try and foster peace, not to come and throw fire where there is you are seen, or to throw kerosene or petrol where there is fire, so that you can put the flames. So it was very unfortunate by that bishop, and he should feel ashamed on himself because he turned a church service into a political one. And one thing that is happening with bishops in Mount Kenya, and I'm not going to spare them, is that when they see money, I don't know what happens with their head. They become rotten completely. Their heads just go on a free mode or a free vacation, and they don't use them. And it's very unfortunate that the bishop himself can preside for the goonism that happened there, because you can clearly see that MP had brought people who are supposed to heckle down some leaders who they term as their political rivals. And you could see even, it was very shocking. The people are talking about how will you see an AIPCA women guild wearing a tight? Where have you ever seen that? They are wearing trousers and I've never seen that in my whole life. I've never seen a AIPCA women guild wearing a trouser when he's going for a church function. Those who are not clearly women of AIPCA, they are just being given some vitambas to wear. And that's why I'm telling you the bishop should feel ashamed on himself, because if he can allow such act of this vitamba kupeano to these women who are not, that is even, you have even gone and molested the women's guild of that church. Do you think that church will recover from that? It will never recover anymore. He has just sold the principles of the church to the dogs. He has sold it. He has sold it for just money, a bus. So I don't think he's going to recover anymore, because those pictures have just been shown. And I think the real women guilds of that AIPCA should come out and condemn such acts, because they are very disgusting. I have never seen acts like those, that a politician can be telling you, wake up, is the time for heckling. But God is good, Wamatangi, even though they wanted to put him down, because that is what was clearly seen. The MPs who are supporting this government, they wanted to pin him down and show as if he has no support in that region. But the same goons who are brought by that Alice Nganga, they were the same goons who were cheering for Wamatangi when he came. And it's evidently seen that even the MCAs who are behind there, the tent, in that leadership tent, it shows they were in support, full support of Wamatangi. Wamatangi has really transformed Kiambu County, leave alone politics. He is a true worker because he has transformed that county. I've seen the things that he has done in terms of education, in terms of infrastructure. He's working tirelessly, and I can clearly tell you this lady has nothing to Wamatangi. She's just a mouthy loud lady who is, I don't think if even she can be given support by the people. The people even in Thika are very disgusted by her. She's a very disgusting lady and a very shameful lady who has turned church affairs into her own political interest. But all in all, in Kenya, we know hakunaga heshima, hakuna siasa za heshima. So we are going to see this. This is not the first time, and we are going to see it again. It is not a shock. It is never a shocker. I also saw another place where children were tear gassed in a Sunday school. So it's not a shocker to me now when seeing anything happening like that in Kenya anymore. And the other thing that also I felt ashamed. How can a member of parliament, just because he has been given the small title of a leader of majority, able to welcome the president when the governor is still there? That is breach of protocol completely. I've never seen that. But because there's, you know why you don't understand? Do you understand why they were doing that, Makobura? I don't seem like you guys understand why they were doing that. They were doing that because the person who had organized that event, it was the MP of Katundu North. And who is the MP of Katundu North? Is one Elijah Kororia, who truly, even when you look at his media posts, he talks very nonsensical. He's a very useless person. If you see the way he talks, you cannot even like it. And I don't even like to say the things that he has been talking in social media because they're very disgusting. So he was the one who had invited these people to come and grace his occasion. But Wamatangi came there because he's the governor of Kiambu, and Gatundu North is in Kiambu. So they mirrored that and they wanted to play that politics. But the people also stopped them. After that service, you saw the repercussion that happened. So Wamatangi has popularity in Kiambu, whether they like it or not. Whether they are calling they have their big names for only 2 years. The best thing, Mount Kenya people, they don't forget. And you know what happens to MPs in Mount Kenya. They go like flies. They fall like flies. So I don't know which other questions you want to ask me, Makubura.
Hey, thank you so much. I don't know whether you've seen the trending message that was shared by Maverick Aoko, condemning or accusing or using some words that were not seen to be nice towards the Odinga family, even though they're still mourning. And of course, the people who came out to criticize also said that she could be speaking on behalf of Babu Owino. Babu Owino has also come out to distance himself from Maverick's remarks. Maybe you can give us your take on that, and then you can also give us your take on the mystery or the questions that are surrounding the death of Seras Jirongo. I don't know whether you've also seen that. You can just give us your brief on those two.
Well, to start with Maverick Aoko is like she likes to get fun in the misery of others. And people like that are the same women like the people like Alice Ng'ang'a. I put them in the same basket of very, I don't like to abuse women, but sometimes women, when they have a voice, they tend to misuse the voice. And you have seen the like of these women. We know them. Even in your heart, you know the women that have been talking nonsensical. And it's a very bad affair. So it clearly shows that women in leadership it's a very dangerous affair, because Aoko is a well-known person. So when she removes anything from her mouth, it influences some of these things. It influences so many people, because she's talking to the people are going to see what she's writing. And it's very unfortunate that she can be removing such kind of words to a respectable woman in the society. who has been there unwavering, supporting her husband through all that went down in the history of Kenya. A woman who has supported her husband even when we changed so many critical things in the country, like repealing the section 1982 of the multi-party. A woman who has suffered when her husband was locked up in jail, and she really took a toll on her. A woman who has suffered even for the times that the husband was rigged and she was the comforter. And when the husband was, if you are going to say defeated during elections or rigged during elections, it's up to you the way you take it. But it's not an easy task for you as a woman to hold that man together. I don't know if you have ever Marco Bura kusimama kuwa a leader somewhere, and you fall, you feel how somebody feels. If I felt how Raila, if I felt the 2022 deep inside my heart, what was Raila feeling? So it's very unfortunate that she can be talking about a woman who is respectable, a woman who has been a leader for the church, because now she's a canon. So, but we expect such things from loose women like that. I cannot expect anything from her. She's she's a very disrespectable woman, and she's disrespect. Even if you have any cordial things with somebody, you don't come and show them to the social media. It means how stupid you are. If you are doing those things with the guy you are doing with in private, why do you need to come and tell us in public? We don't need to know your full alter nonsense, calling them chai. This is not tea. You know, people nowadays, they create stories so that they can trend in this social media platform and they can get the likes and the following, and then they call this one tea. This is not tea. This means it is societal. It's like it's societal suicide. Nowadays, the society is very rotten. So I cannot expect anything from Aoko. I know her brain, that is how she operates. But to put Babu Owino in that space, it is very wrong. Because Babu Owino, I know the way he takes his politics. Even though you see him as a, Babu Owino before was a very young leader. He could talk anything through his mouth. But nowadays, he has uttered the politics of, he has learned the politics through the years, and he has known politics need maturity. And he has become very mature. And that's why people are in support of Babu Owino. I think some quarters just want to damage Babu Owino image so that they can run. They are looking for a scapegoat for Babu Owino, from Babu Owino, but it's not the right way. If Aoko talked on her mouth, she talked on her mouth. Deal with Aoko. Stop with Babu Owino. Babu Owino never said anything. So people like that, we tend to. But all in all, people know the truth. People are not stupid. In this country, people are not stupid, so they know where everything lies. And it's so unfortunate. But what do we say? You asked me also about CJ. CJ, that accident is still a puzzle, because there is no day you are going to get into an accident with my brother Marco Bure, and there is no witnesses other than the driver who you got into accident with. I would like to see the witnesses, more so the ones who are in the bus, because he said he saved the passengers who are in the bus. So I would like to see those witnesses who are in the bus. What is their statement? Do they concur with what the driver did? Because we are supposed to be having 2, 4, 3, 5, 6, 7 witnesses talking the same thing, and you can hear it is echoing the same language, that what the driver did is what the passengers saw. Because even if you are asleep in that bus, let's say it was at night, when the driver slammed on brakes, you could clearly tell maybe he was trying to avert the accident or something. So that thing does not add up. But I'm telling you, there is no day that a person is going to go to the grave and it's left like that. Sometime, someday it is going to be opened. Vitu zitakuja tu kwa mwangaza. Everything always come to light. So I think that is my answer to that. We just wait for the conclusion. The family has already asked for investigations. We'll see what will come of it.
Okay, thank you so much, our good friend Joseph, for finding time to join and to give us your take. Allow me to also welcome Msimamo. Karibu sana Msimamo, na wewe pia Joseph, labda utangoja kidogo, sijui kama uko na haraka ama namna gani. Kindly confirm if you are available. Kama uko na wakati nimalize na wewe ama you are still around, I give a chance to Msimamo.
You can give a chance to Msimamo.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Rafiki yetu Msimamo, karibu sana jioni ya leo. We are having a conversation, of course, based on what is currently going on. And Msimamo, what is your view on the comments of Maverick Aoko towards the Odinga family and the association that is being taken, or the way it is being put, like she is speaking? Oh, sorry. Msimamo ni kama ameshatoroka. So Joseph, I think we'll just I'll get to the next topic that I want you to just give your take on. Fred Matiang'i, of course, met Karua Monya amid opposition claims, and reports shows that Matiang'i met Karua and Peter Monya amid talks of fractures in the united opposition. Why? What is your view on this particular matter, and what does this signal ahead of 2027? And maybe something else you can give your view on is, this raises, of course, questions about who will lead the anti-Ruto coalition, and it also shows the vacuum left by Raila Amolo Odinga. What is your view? Is a new opposition power block forming, or who is positioning themselves as the successor of the opposition, of Raila in that particular opposition team?
What I'll say to my comments is that this opposition, united opposition, is joking. They are just jokers because they are not ready to decide on what they want. They are just jokers. If they are not going to show the seriousness in which they are going to form their coalition and start knowing what they are going to do in the next steps, I can term them as jokers. There is nothing short of jokes in what they are doing. You cannot be every day you are trying to form new formation, new lines, new formation. What are you doing? And you are saying you are united. The first name in their coalition is called United. So what unity do they have of purpose? So for me, it's just a simple saying that they need to be serious. They are not serious at all. And if they are not serious, in the coming days, they will be crushed if they continue with the same operations they are doing. It's not helping them, it is hurting them very badly. And they are hemorrhaging everywhere. So I think if they could have learned from Bere what happened, they could have been now trying to governize, not trying to know how they are going to get new formations. And if they saw what Malava happened, they could have been trying to know how are we going to seal these loopholes and how are we going to prepare for the general elections. But now they are just doing their dramas there, and let them continue joking. Ruto is waiting for them there. He's going to nyonga them if they are not going to be ready. They are not going to stop their jokes. But for Raila, he left a void. The void is very heavy, but the void is being felt so much in the Luo Nyanza region, and I don't know. They're going to be able to manage their issues. They're going to manage their issues because they need to. They ought to. If they are not going to manage them, somebody is going to manage them for them. And I think Ruto will manage them. Will manage the issues for them. But so far as I'm concerned, united opposition are full of jokers.
Okay, thank you so much, Joseph, maybe something that I would also want you to give your view on before we close is this young lady called Trufena Mudoni, if I'm not wrong. She attempted the first, the first time she wanted to break or to get recognized by the Guinness World Record. She did attempt hugging the tree, and she managed a whole 48 hours. After some few days, she did try again, and she managed to do it for 72 hours. And she's now she's gotten to the Guinness World Record as the person who has hugged the tree for the many hours. Today, she was in State House, met by the president. Of course, she's been given the prestigious recognition of SHC. Is it HSC, if I'm not wrong? And she's also the ambassador of tree planting, where they're planning to plant so many number of trees. The question I'm asking you tonight is, what is your view on the attempt that was made by this young girl or young lady? And she did narrate the first time she tried this, and the many times she tried getting out of the country to go visit other countries as a way of, just showing love for what she likes or what she was doing, but she was denied. Now, of course, with the help and assistance of the people of Kenya, if you saw how Kenyans pressured the Guinness World Record team to acknowledge what she did, they broke. They were all over in social media, tagging, commenting. What is your view on what Kenyans are able to do, and what is your view on what this young lady did vis-a-vis all those things that she has now gained?
Yeah, I would like to congratulate her. She's truly a hero among the peers, because there is no Gen Z among the peers who has done something like that. She's a overcomer, and I really love her spirit. And that spirit, I hope the Wangari Maathai spirit is in her, and she will continue with fighting for the climate change in the country, and not also the country but the world. It's very unfortunate that she was not able to go outside the country. I think now is the high time the government should now try to help her in going out of the country, so that she can be able to go and be able to become a globalist in terms of economic change, in terms of climate change. About the Guinness Book of Records, Guinness is like they did not want this one, but Kenyans, as Kenyans, they are very hot when they are on your tails, and they are when they come to social media. Kenyans are they are very advanced, I think, in terms of getting and kufinya pale inahitajika. They always do that. I saw even one comment on a lighter note was saying that wasipompatia Guinness tutampatia Tusker. So he was just joking and saying tutampatia Tusker record world records. So I was just laughing and thinking about how Kenyans are very they call them KOT, Kenyans on Twitter. They are very dangerous when it comes to using this kind of technologies. But for Trufena, I want to congratulate her. She made the country proud. She's among leaders who are going to be remembered because of her resilience. I hope her resilience also. I saw some pictures when she was taken. It's not only about hugging the tree. She was taken some pictures a while ago when she was planting trees. Sijui kama Marco Bura umeipanda mti. Umepanda mti Marco Bura hata moja. So she's truly a leader in her own peers, and I hope she can continue with that. The spirit of Wangari Maathai, I think, is over in her. And you know what happened to Wangari Maathai after a long while? She won the Nobel Peace Prize because of her resilience and her dedication to the to the environment. I hope she can continue in that speed. Maybe we get another Nobel Prize from another young girl like her. So congratulations to her, and I wish her all the best. But the Kenyan government need to put in more on helping her if she's going to go to greater heights of global climate change.
Hey, thank you so much. And Harry K is saying on Mudhoni, I don't trust her. Don't trust her records. It wasn't live throughout. People should stop joking. Regenerate is saying there's nothing like united opposition. They are just a group of politicians. Okay. Say hi to my brother Joseph since wafinywe Mbehere 1 hour. Amenilenga. My elections are coming in the same Mbehere. He won't believe his eyes.
Kuna kufinya walifinya, si wanajua waliiba kura ama waliiba. Sasa unafinya aje na unaiba kura? Kufinya ni wakati mnashindana na kura unaachwa na ngiri mbili za dhamaka. Wakati umeachwa na kura karibu ngiri 5 ndio unasema ulifinya. And they still even we never forget they burnt us food so that they can be able to steal votes. That thing is still on record. But let them do whatever they want to do. They have the power. Power is transient, my friend. Hata Uhuru alikuwa hapo akirushia watu tear gas. Si Uhuru alirushia kina watu tear gas wakati alikuwa president huko nini wakienda kunini. Alikuwa mpaka na wafinya but power still went. Na yeye akafinywa. So nilisikia kuna jenzi wanasema wanataka hata wao ile siku huyu watamaliza kazi na hata yeye anyongwe. So it's just the same. Power is transient. Haikaagi. 10 years is nothing, bro. Hata akiweza pata second term, 10 years is nothing. It will be, you know, within the 10 years that Uhuru has become president, I don't know even the time I've been home. It's very shocking that the whole time that Uhuru has been president, how many years? I think only 4 years I've been at home. Hata nakumbukaga nikimpigia kura hata hiyo ya kwanza ndio wakati nilikuwa nyumbani sana. Hiyo after 2017 bro hata siwezi kukwambia vile presidency yake ilikuwa kwa sababu sikuwa nyumbani at that time, but I can tell you the feeling the feel that we were feeling when we were outside. And power is transient. He went for 10 years. Somebody watu walikuwa wanasema ni kamwana. Mlikuwa mnamuita kamwana? Haezi retire. He retired. Saizi anakula samaki huko, anakula nini motura huko Gatondo. Power is transient, bro. And that is all I'm going to say. Mzalendo wako hapo.
Asante sana. Msimamo, kindly say hi tukusikize kama uko hapa ama huko. I think Msimamo ndio akona shida ya network because naona anatuambia hapa akiingia huku anapata tunakatika. Something that I cannot confirm on my side because I can clearly hear what Msimamo here is saying. I mean what Joseph here is saying. So I think Msimamo ndio akona shida ya network, ndio maana anashinda to join, anashindwa kuzungumza ama kutusikiza. But either way, thank you so much everyone for finding time. Msimamo, labda ukipata nafasi tena kesho unaweza to join utupe maoni yako because apparently today ni kama uko na shida. Yeah, so that's normal sometimes when the network is not stable enough. That is how it behaves, Msimamo. Sorry for that. We hope that you'll join us tomorrow. Brother Joseph, unaweza tupea maoni yako ya mwisho na utuambie, I mean with anything else that is still pending that we might not have given our view on.
Yes, thank you, Brother Marco Buddha, for this chance, for giving us time to talk. And I've seen Sami Costa saying, but Kasongo will never retire. Brother, it's not Kasongo to tell us if we retire or not retire. There's a constitution in Kenya. That one, even Uhuru was a Kamwana. I have told you an example. He was still a young man when he was retiring, and he needed to go home. See, atatuambia. So even him, he knows is when he finished 2 terms, he's supposed to go if he's going to go for the second term or if he's going to win it. That is neither here or there. But all in all, Brother Mark, what happens whether he goes 2 terms or 1 term, is anything changing in your life anyhow? You know, when you have power as a leader, you're supposed to transform the lives of people, not in terms of their lives inside their house, but the lives of the nearby things that affect them daily. Things like the economy, things like the education, things like the health sector. So those are the things that they are supposed to change. If you don't see any change within those things, you need to call yourself a meeting. You know, we can lie to people. I can come here and lie to you, Makobura, but I can never lie to myself. You can never lie to yourself. And if you can never lie to yourself, you really know if the economy of Kenya is doing well or it's not doing well. You really know if the health sector is okay or it is not okay. You really know if the education sector is doing okay, or it is being crippled. You really know, even not about knowing, because next year we are going to see if capitation is going to be there or not there. So we can lie to other people, but we cannot lie to ourselves. What is there, and what will be there even after we finish, whether he finishes the first term or the second term, we will be there and we'll see. Somebody is going to be gauged. By the way, kila mtu anakuaga na rafiki yake. Hata Moi, watu wakiongea vibaya, kuna watu bado wanapenda Moi, and they loved Moi because of what he did to them, maybe in terms of their personal lives or in terms of the places where they were. There's people who loved Kenyatta one. There's people who loved Kibaki, some hated him. Kuna watu walipenda Uhuru, others hated him. Kuna watu wanapenda hata Ruto and some hate him. But all in equal measure. The real the real gauge is yourself. You cannot lie to yourself. You really know if he messed you up or he helped you. That is the only thing I'm going to say. And for today, pole Makobura, sijakuwa nikisikia vizuri. That's why sometimes I've been going away. This time is time we are entering a very cold time, so we always get some sickness of fever and common cold. So I think it is affecting us. So thank you.
Thank you so much, good friend Joseph. We really appreciate. Thank you so much for finding time to be with us or to join us this evening. Allow me to also appreciate Msimamo, who tried, but he wasn't able to give his views because of the network challenges. And allow me to read this. Kasongo will mostly extend his presidency or have one of his sycophants as vice president, so the presidency remain in his circle to avoid being prosecuted. I'm tempted, Joseph. I'm tempted to give my view. I don't know whether I should give my view, Joseph, or just relax.
No, you can give your view. You know, they have already given them. I've told you cannot lie to yourself, brother. There is some things you can never lie. There is things even I don't want to argue about. There is things even I cannot even engage myself. You talking about Kasongo having 4 terms, that is nonsensical. I cannot argue. That one I cannot come here to argue, because already we know what the constitution says. That is your own constitution creating. So I cannot argue with something that is not in constitution. That one is neither here or there. That is just their opinion. And I respect everybody's opinion. That's why I'm not going to answer that.
The only thing I can say is that as a Kenyan youth, even though we might not have the power, we might not have the money, we might not have whatever is needed, but as a Kenyan, even if it means mobilizing me alone, the entire people of the entire regions, there are things that personally I cannot just sit down and watch happening in a country where I've lived, a country where I've seen people die, fighting for their rights, fighting for freedom, fighting for good governance, fighting for good things that we currently that we currently enjoy. And whatever it means, I don't think some of us, we've been told how it is dangerous to have a political view. We've been told how it is dangerous to give a political view. We've been told how it is dangerous to question the big people in the society. But me, one thing I can say or I can confirm is that there are some childish games that whether you are moneyed, whether you have power or what, there are some of us who cannot just bend and see or watch. Even if Ruto is the most powerful president in the Republic of Kenya, he might be having everything that he needs. But there are some things that we've gone past as a people of Kenya. And I think it shouldn't be easy for us to just allow or to welcome negativity coming back in a society where people have died, in a society where people have gone for demonstration, in a society where blood has been shed so that it can shape and realign the country. I don't think we, the people of Kenya, let me use that term, as the Constitution addresses us, the citizens of the Republic of Kenya, we, the people of Kenya, we cannot allow a president, whether you are the best, whether you've been sent from the sun. The Constitution of the Republic has to be respected. If you're changing it, you change it. Of course, there are people who would want to live in a society where that Constitution is changed. They have that right. But there's also a people who would want the society or the people in leadership to as well respect what the Constitution says. If it is changed and the majority of the people of Kenya says it is right, it should be changed. Well, it will be a voice of the people of Kenya, but it cannot be changed by the political class. That is the only thing that I can say. Let them be at work. Let them be at work. We've seen even Jesus himself, the Son of God, came to earth, and in his youthful state, he went back to his father again. So I don't think there is anybody who is fearful. The only thing that we are not fearful in this world is going back to where the Christianity teaches us that we came from. That is the only thing that we are not fearful of. So long as you're standing with truth, standing with the right things that is assisting the entire group of people, it is the best thing ever. That is what I can say, Joseph. I think I've partly talked in some language that is not easily understandable, but somebody like Eric Ayaga here will tell you, he will not. Even as much as they're saying somebody has the power, is the president, he can say, you be arrested, it is well, there's no problem. But there's a group in this republic that have seen the sufferings of this country. And no matter what, as much as we are being told that Kenyans are tribal or what, there are things that we cannot allow we cannot accept to continue being in operations here in Kenya.
Brother Mark, I hope you are feeling okay. You stopped. You are now okay with the sound. I had before I felt that you were sick. Hope you're getting better. That is what I can. I just want to close by thanking the people who are here. They listening to us. I want to thank them and tell Gypsy we are preparing for the game of Man United versus Bournemouth. So that is what I'm preparing for. So we meet in the other side. Anajua pale tutapatanaga wakati tumewakwaruza sana. So thank you for the evening.
Okay, thank you. Allow me to just give my comments on what Eric here said. Constitution is a man-made. No one is disputing that. It is a man-made. It can be changed. And remember, I did say in my comments that if it is changed and approved by the people of Kenya, then it is well. If it is approved, Eric, you know what I'm speaking about. Eric, I know you cannot lock yourself in a house when you see a government or leaders because they have bunduki or whatever. So I hope you understand what I'm talking about. I'm not arguing on anything. I'm only saying that if it is something approved by the people of Kenya, it is well. It can happen today, anytime. But let it not be something that has been made behind the scenes and then brought forth to be executed or to be forced on the people. That shall not happen. That is what I mean, and that is what I'm talking about. Yes, he might have all the animals in the parliament or majority, whichever he might have. But if it is not the voice of people speaking through those members of parliament, in a similar way, they tried forcing us with a budget that was not approved by the people of Kenya. And the people of Kenya denied or stopped or said it is not right. We are not going to continue this way. That is what I mean, Eric. Kindly get to hear what I'm talking about. That is what I'm giving my view on. Above all, I appreciate everyone for Eric here is saying that let me see. Seeing a comment here from Eric. Those MPs from the Mount Kenya eat money and impeach one of their own. I don't know what that means. Kwani, does it mean that only MPs from the Mount Kenya impeached Rigathi Gachagua? I don't agree with that, Eric. It is not only members of parliament from the Mount Kenya region that impeached Rigathi Gachagua. It was a group or many number of MPs. And then Gypsy Connor here is saying that Eric, the Nairobi, please don't corner the community. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, good year. It is not right to say so because it is not. We saw a good number of members of parliament, those coming from other regions, as well, impeached Rigathi Gachagua. So let's not make it look the way Eric wants to make it look. Yeah, I think yeah, I agree with this comment. The MPs are from all over the country, of course, including members of ODM, of which it is being said that if ODM did not get in a conversation with William Samoei Ruto, possibly Rigathi Gachagua would still be a deputy president. Because of their number, they easily made it possible for that impeachment to happen. That is what I can say. That is what I can say. Allow me to say a big thank you to everyone who joined us. We really appreciate. We really appreciate. Of course, starting from Eric, thank you so much for joining. Good year, thank you so much for joining. Spike, thank you so much for joining us. Msimamo, asante sana kujiunga na sisi. Sami, thank you so much, Sami, for also joining and giving us your take. Joseph, thank you so much. We really appreciate. I saw Laban Misiani as well. Thank you so much for also coming and giving us your take. We really appreciate. I want to take this opportunity to say a big thank you as well to Winnie Sunday, asante sana. Mike Onyango, thank you so much. Sherry, thank you so much. Gordon, thank you so much. We really appreciate. Thank you for finding time to join us this evening, and for, of course, giving us your view. We don't take it for granted. We say a big thank you. Allow me once again to remind you that this is Brother Benson Media, and over here we do say that your opinion counts. If you are watching for the first time, then kindly like and subscribe. If you do so, it is a way of supporting us, na sisi hapa tutasema ni asante. Msimamo, good evening. Can you hear me? Msimamo, are you there? Msimamo seems to be still having a problem. Goodyear is saying that all tribes and counties make a beautiful country, Kenya, and I agree with you. That is the truth of the matter. As we fight, as we try to unite the country, as we try to come up with the best or good solutions, let us embrace each other. Let us acknowledge that we are from one God, God the Father, God the Son, of course, God the Holy Spirit. If you are a Christian, that is. And if you believe in other religions as well, I know you acknowledge who God is. And out of that, we came. And we have to love one another, to like one another, despite the difference in culture or the difference in region where we all come from. Let us look at each other as brothers and sisters, because that is who we are. I think I'll just close because Msimamo can't, I'm unable to hear from him. So I'll just close. Allow me to close now, everyone. We appreciate once again. Thank you so much. And may God bless you. We really appreciate your time. And I want to take this opportunity to wish you all a blessed night, a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, a blessed evening from wherever you're watching us from. Thank you so much. And may God bless you. See you again tomorrow. Santeni sana.